What is up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Good to be back. It's good to be doing another live. It has been quite a while since we did a live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll give some time for everyone to jump in. Let me make sure we got some sound. Good to be back. Looks like we have sound. Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a little while since I did one of these lives. You know, hopefully we should be able to go back to more consistent lives now that we got the new studio set up. We're in the new house. Yeah, so Mike, congrats on the house. Did you design it? Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I just bought a house and just moved. So the last month or so has been super crazy. But we're settled now. We're in the new house, kind of all sorted. Kind of got the studio set up a little bit now, so it's going to be a lot nicer. The new video quality. I got some new lights. You can see the floor lighting and all that. And then I got a bunch of stuff up in the background, cards and different things. Perfect. So anyway. It is really exciting to be back on a live. So if you guys have any questions, anything you'd like help with, anything you want me to talk about, leave them in the chat. But to answer your question, Mike, no, I did not design this. This was a existing house. It was built in about 2014. And so, yeah, but it's awesome. It's awesome. I am super happy with it. And for you guys on the channel, it definitely is going to be of a benefit because now there's going to be a bunch of, new stuff and better stuff in the new space, and I'm really excited to bring all of that to you guys. Got any simple tricks with an indifferent card in the deck? One red card in a blue deck. I mean, Chicago Opener's the thing that comes to mind right away, or there's that, I think it's called Stranger. It's that Madison trick that's really good. Once we go down to the card table, Mike, remind me, and I'll show you that one. If I forget, just remind me. But it's a good one. Those are the two that come to mind. Anyway, so I'll give some time for some people to jump in. What is new? What is new? There's so much new, so much to talk about. We have a bunch of exciting stuff coming from the channel. By the way, for these lives, people always ask me, like, when do you announce? How do I know when a live is happening? So usually I'll put a post on the community tab on YouTube, and then on my website, if you join my email list, so you just have to go to my website and fill out the contact form, or if you go to like the shop page, an email list pop-up will appear. And you can join there, and then you should get an email. I usually send out an email either the day before or like an hour before the lives, just to let people know. What else is going on? I'll talk about, usually at the beginning of these, I like to talk a little bit about new videos, just to give you guys an update on what new is coming. Vatsal Sharma, hey man, what's going on? Welcome to the live. So, okay, so we got a bunch of new videos. I just filmed a ton of new videos in this studio, so I got the next, 6-7 weeks of videos kind of planned out and filmed. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., because I always drop Sunday at 11, so tomorrow there's something super exciting. So maybe we should start and talk about this a little bit. I don't want to give too much away, but I will let you in a little bit. So tomorrow is finally going to be the 10K subscriber special. It's going to be, it's really going to be exciting. So I hit 10,000 subscribers. If you look now, we did hit 11,000. So thank you guys so much. And I really want to take a moment to thank you all for all of the support. I hit 10,000 subscribers a couple of months ago, and I've been telling you that something big is going to happen. And so that is finally happening tomorrow. I just was so busy with the move, but finally tomorrow, we are, the watermark has two hands. It does have two hands. That's Oh, I know what it is. Okay. It doesn't, one's from the live and one YouTube automatically puts over the video. So they're probably overlapping right now. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to take a moment to thank you guys so much for all the support. If you liked the video, commented, you know, ever viewed even a video, I just really appreciate all the support and being able to get to 10,000 subscribers, something that I never thought, you know, I could never really envision that happening. You know, I started this channel as a young kid 5 years ago. We just passed the 5-year kind of anniversary of the channel on, I think it was like the 17th of July. So I've been doing this 5 years now. And, you know, 10,000 was a goal that I never had. You know, we came a long way from, you know, for this studio now to when I was filming in front of that white sheet in my parents' basement, the wrinkled white sheet. I don't know if you remember that era. You're a real one if you were around at that time when I had maybe like 10 subscribers. Anyway, so I'm just super thankful, and so I wanted to do something special. So tomorrow I'm launching, should I tell you? Should we make it a surprise? Okay, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek for those of you who are here. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., I am launching the 10K subscriber magic challenge, an ultimate magic challenge. It is open to everyone, free to enter. I won't give you the details. I'll wait till tomorrow, but it is an awesome challenge, little competition. You're going to get to create a routine, submit the routine, get judged by yours truly, and then there'll be some awesome prizes for first, second, and third place. So that is going to be launched tomorrow. That is my big 10,000 subscriber celebration. You know, I don't like to just do like a straight up giveaway, like, you know, comment and I'll pick a random comment winner, because I've done that before and you get a lot of random people commenting. I really want it to be like someone who supports the channel. So I know that if you're going to go through the effort to submit an entry to the competition, then I know it's going to be, you're someone who definitely deserves to win. So it's a fun little challenge. There's a bit of a curveball in the challenge, but it'll get to push you guys creatively, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, you know, get your creative juices ready. We got the 10K Magic Challenge coming tomorrow, and it'll be open for a month, so you got lots of time to submit your entry. All the information tomorrow, 11 a.m., right here on the channel. Will be there. So I hope everyone enters. I hope there's lots of entries. You know, I have no idea how many people are going to enter. I did something like this for, I think it was 1,000 subs, where I always like to do, again, more like competitions or like something to get you guys involved. One, it's a lot more fun. Two, like I said, if you just do a random giveaway, like on my 500 sub, I think I did a 500 sub giveaway, and I gave away a gift card, and I just, you know, it was just a giveaway. So you had to comment. I picked a random comment, and a bunch of like scammers and people who like just Google, all sit there all day and Google like giveaways, and they just find people doing giveaways and they just enter them, right? And they try to make money just like, so I, you know, it was a very good chance someone who was just like a random person who's never seen a video could have won that. Luckily they didn't, but I learned from that. All right. So I like to do these competitions at 1,000 subs. I did like this behind the screens. So if you don't know my series Behind the Screens, I haven't done a new one in probably like 2 years. I have some footage for a new one, but I still need to film one more trick, and they're super hard to film. But basically I perform like these crazy tricks virtually on Omegle, and then you see the performance, you see what the spectator sees, and then I have another camera filming the behind the scenes angle, so you see what's going on behind the screen, right? All the stuff happening around the frame of view, and then you see exactly how the trick's done. And I've done some crazy tricks in that series. If you haven't seen it, go over to the playlist tab, because it's really crazy. Like one of my favorites, I did like any dart at any number. So they named, I had a dartboard and they named a number. So the numbers on the dartboard are 1 to 20. So the guy named 20. Then we had a deck of cards and he named a card. He said 4 diamonds. And we threw up the deck and I threw a dart. And, you know, we sprayed all the cards. I had someone help me spray all the cards over the board, and I threw a dart and I pinned his card on the dart at the number 20. Like I hit the bolt like right on the number 20 that he called. So the sliver for 20. And I pinned his card. It's a crazy trick. And once you see the method, oh, it's insane. It's so insane. So stuff like that. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I did like, you know, bullet catch, where you like dribble the cards and you reach in and pull one out. I did like a full size one where I dropped like a jumbo deck out the second story of my parents' house. So there were like cards falling from the second story, and I reach in and grab a named card that he said. So really cool stuff in there, and then I show you all how I did it. So anyway, I did something like that for 1,000 subs, but instead of revealing it, I had you guys guess the method. And a fair amount of people entered that, and the closest person won. But for this one, I want to do another competition. There'll be 3 prizes this time, so it's awesome. And yeah, you get, it's all in your hands. You just gotta make a submission. It's gonna be a lot of fun, a little competition. So I'm really looking forward to that, launching tomorrow. What else? I will just quickly mention, I always like to mention private lessons. So I've done a bunch of new private lessons. I had one this morning just before the live. So if you guys are interested, I've been doing private lessons for a very long time. That's one of the first things I started doing. Let me see if I can share that with you guys. So yeah, you do see, okay. So if you head over to my website and you go book lesson, I just revamped my website, by the way, so there's a bunch of new stuff on here, but you can get some, here, there you go, email list if you want to join. But you can get a whole bunch of information, read some testimonials, kind of what you get there. I have a deal for a free lesson right now, some more quotes, video reviews, testimonials, and then all my lessons. If you want to book private lessons with me, it's kind of the best way to get one-on-one help from me, improve your magic, mentalism, learn some of my best material, whatever it is. So if you are interested, that is there. Also, I did revamp my website recently, so if you've ever taken a look through my website, you might notice some things have changed. But I've kind of been updating the shop, the store area, just to, because I have some new projects coming and I wanted to get it ready for that. So just made it look a little nicer. Right now there's my 2 projects, J30 ACAN, best ACAN you can do, and the Show Me a Trick tee, which I am rocking right now. There's a full 3-phase trick built right into this shirt. So maybe I will, yeah, you know what, maybe I could show you guys that. So why doesn't someone, it'd be hard to do over live. Anyway, I'll think about that. And then, what else did I update? Just a couple of things, and got it ready for the 10K challenge. So that is all good. I see we got a couple of questions coming in, so I will answer those. What do we got? So, do you have a tip for your best mentalism trick? Well, which mentalism trick? My best mentalism trick? I mean, Midas Touch is really good. My tricks, what do I love? I love my Influence Force. I'll be teaching that on my Wizard membership soon, if you want to learn that. Basically, the effect is like you have someone think of a word, someone create some random numbers in their phone, and then you've predicted that number beforehand on a billet. And then when you turn the billet upside down, that number spells the word that the other person's thinking of. So that's a crazy trick. 2K special you shared on YouTube. So what is, so you're saying tips for my best mentalism. Okay, so the 2K special I think was my trick mental image, if I remember correctly. So tips for mental image. So mental image is a great effect. It's so good, in fact, it's in one of my lectures. I actually have lectured on this before. It's such a good trick. Basically, just to run through the effect, they pick a card, but then you tell them that it would be not as impressive if they just pick a card, because you're a magician, you can kind of do sleight of hand and that sort of thing. So instead, you are going to have them create a card that only exists in their mind. And so the card that they've picked, you let them change the suit, you let them change the value, and they create a new card that they genuinely never say out loud, never write down, anything like that. And then you're able to basically predict that card and reveal what it is. So tips on that. One tip that I've added that isn't in the original video, this is in my lecture. So the hardest part about this is the scripting. It can get a little bit confusing if you're not very clear with it. So obviously get down the scripting from the video, but one thing I found is to have them imagine like an invisible canvas. So you say, imagine an invisible canvas up in front of you, and I want you to apply all these decisions that you have them make. You have them fill out a card on that canvas. So then they're not just trying to, like, because they kind of have 2 cards, right? They have the card they picked and the card they're gonna think of. and you're having them make decisions to get from there to there. And if they just have these two things in their head, it's kind of can get confusing sometimes. Which card are you talking about? So you have this blank canvas, and when you say, the only thing we're going to keep the same about the card you chose and the card that you're going to think of is the color. So imagine taking the color of that card and pasting it up on that canvas. So that's going to be the color of your card. So now they have a visual and they have something you can tie that card to, so you can always talk about that, and they know the card on the canvas is the card they're thinking of. So it really has helped clear up the script. So then when you get to the second part where you say, okay, now I'm going to let you make a decision about if you want to change your mind on the suit of that card. You can switch to the other suit in that color, or you can stay on the same suit. So make up your mind now. And then you say, you know, it's a whole truth teller liar plot. So you say, now answer in character, did you change your mind? And they'll tell you, but you don't know if they're telling the truth or lying. And you say, okay, imagine taking that suit and pasting that suit up there. So now there's a clear image. Let's say they chose a heart and they've switched to a diamond. Well, now they know that there's a diamond up there and they won't get confused. And then finally you say, you know, change the value, and imagine pasting that value up there, and you create that playing card on that blank canvas. And now you can do the reveal. So there you go. That's my best tip for that. Are you a full-time magician? No, this is not my full-time job. I am a full-time engineer, structural engineer. So I work on a lot of different projects, high-rise buildings to community centers, and schools, long-term care, all that kind of stuff. I like keeping magic as my side thing because it's so much more fun that way. I don't have to rely on it for making a living, but it does, you know, allow me to you know, purchase a house and things, and like it's been very helpful as a side business. And so I love it, and you know, maybe one day I will go full-time in magic. You know, I probably could if I wanted to, but I enjoy where I have it now, and I like it as the business that it is and the way that I run it, and the hobby, and keeping it feeling like something I want to do rather than have to do as a job. Your favorite magician you follow? I mean, Peter Turner. He's always going to be like probably my biggest inspiration. Anything he puts out, I always really thoroughly enjoy, and his thinking, and so that's probably my answer. How did you make your website, and how long did it take you to develop? Did you hire someone? So let me just share it again. Okay, so my website I built on Wix all by myself. So I knew absolutely nothing about web development. I just literally had a friend who was in software engineering, and I said, like, how do I build a website? And he's like, you used to code everything with HTML, but now you just use Wix or Shopify or something. And I was like, okay. So I downloaded Wix, and I didn't even really watch like YouTube videos, but there's stuff everywhere. When I want to do something more complicated, sometimes I'll find a YouTube video or Google it. But I just jumped into it. Like, I'm pretty good with tech. I'm pretty intuitive. So, and Wix is super easy to use. So eventually I just kind of figured it out. You know, if you're just trying to make a website for a magician, mine is like way more than you would need. You know, really you just need one page, kind of like this, where you have like, you know, some footage, some pictures, some testimonials maybe. For me, I have a lot of other things that I offer, you know, my private lessons, my lectures. I have a whole shop. Like, you know, obviously you wouldn't need all of that, and that's still easy to do, but a little bit more complicated. But really it's just like plug and play. Like, you just, the design part, if you're not like creative in the design and that's not your thing, then maybe that you would struggle a little bit. But like, I kind of had a lot of pictures and videos, so it was like easy for me to just like this picture in the background here, me holding this deck of cards. I just did a quick photo shoot in my basement, you know, and I like took this picture that I liked because I thought it looked nice. I took like this picture of me in the background, like putting my hat on, you know, and then this main background video is just different street magic that I clipped together because there were good reactions and that sort of thing. And then it's just like literally plug and play, text, text, image, right? Image, text, text, button, and then you link it to another page. You know, it's just like picking the colors and all that. If you're not that creative, you're like, where do I start? And Wix has templates and stuff. So I think I actually started off like a template of like a tattoo shop that was like all this kind of black and white with the red that I liked. I liked the color scheme, so I used that, and then I built it out from there. and then you can, figure out how you want to lay it all out. And my website's changed a bunch, but I would always recommend you learn how to do it, because it's so much better than paying someone, because when you pay someone, one, you don't learn, two, you're always reliant on them if you need to make I always forget which camera's on when I have the Safari on, but you're always reliant on them when you need to make changes, right? So if you want to update something, you get new this or new that, new footage. You have to contact them. Maybe they'll charge you more. Like, it's so much better to learn on your own. I mean, I'd recommend Wix. It's been pretty good. It has a few limitations, but nothing that is not you can work around. And it's very easy and straightforward to use, right? And so once you build it out, then you kind of learn, and it's easy to go in and make these changes. Like I had like 2 major overhauls of my website. The first one, then the second one. What did I do? I added like the whole. Oh, I added. I used to just have. Actually, let me share again. So I used to just have shop, media, and this just said lesson. But then I added like a performance page, like so I've added a book page. So it just has like a summary of the different services I offer. And then I added like a performances page, and I built, like I made my promo reel and added some photos and all these things. So I added this booking form. So, when clients want to book me for gigs and stuff, there's like an easy place. I'm just all about automation, right? So like this is now all automated. It just goes to my email. And then I added, like when I started offering lectures like a year ago or so, I've added a lecture page, some reviews from some of the lectures I've done, and kind of more info about the different lectures I offer, and then again a booking form. And then like the shop is great too, like if you do offer products, because like say my J30A can, for example, which is incredible project. So people can, it's just easy now, it's all automated. People can go, they can check it out, they can watch the trailer.
Are you ready?
And if they're interested, they can just buy it and it sends it to them automatically, and I don't have to do anything. So that's kind of my thing. I would really recommend you learn to do it. It's not that hard. There's a lot of information, out there. And so I would really, try to just look at other magicians' websites and see like what kind of sections they have, what kind of stuff you would want and need. I keep looking at the wrong camera. I need to look here. And yeah, like, I'm pretty happy with my website. I like it. I'm not saying it's the best in the world. Mine is good though, and I'm happy with it. So I would just say, make a page, take some photos of yourself, maybe like, again, you handling cards like this picture here. I literally just put a bunch of, like, I like this deck of playing cards. It's like the OVO Playboy playing cards. I don't know, I think they look nice. So I like put them on a table, and I just took a picture of it, and I just made it black and white and put it as a background. And then, if you watch, and then you just, you add an about section, a contact section. If you want to get fancy, you can add a little contact form, maybe a couple of videos, add a few testimonials if you can get them, and that's all you need. Like if you're just offering magic services, like I said, mine is probably a lot more than what you need. But I will say that, you don't need all that much. And what was I going to say? Oh, and if you look at my video from last week, the Street Magic Masterclass, so how to perform street magic, near the end I talk all about filming and why it's so important. And this is one of those reasons. Like you're probably like, you might, if you're just starting out, you might look at that website and say, well, I don't have videos, I don't have pictures. But it's like, if you just go out and do some free street magic and just film it, not to post anywhere or anything, it gives you content to create these things. You can take still images from the videos and post these people with like freaking out reactions. You can use those on your website. You then have some footage you can chop together for a promo reel. And for me, like if you've seen my promo reel, I'll actually just play it here with the sound off. But like I could have done a promo reel with all my gig footage, and some people would say, oh, that's the way to go. But I don't really agree, because I think this just looks so much more fun and captivating. The reactions are insane. It's out on the town. Like, it just looks way more fun. So I chose to use my street magic in my promo reel. And clients reach out to me and say, like, your street magic style is like perfect for our event, even if it's like a professional corporate event. But it's just the style, right? And you get the style a lot more with this kind of street magic footage. So that's why I've used it. And this is all stuff you guys have seen on YouTube. It's nothing special, right? And then this is clipped from a YouTube video, clipped from a YouTube video, clipped from a YouTube video. Like, you know, you can get all the things you need, and then you just go and you take a picture of yourself holding some cards for your background, or, you know, a picture of yourself holding a fan, or like whatever. You take some pictures of yourself and you can make a website, right? You have everything you need. Like, it's not all that hard. So I have some tips on that in my recent Street Magic Masterclass if you want some more info. And then in terms of my logo, because I see you asked about the logo, but just, I really want to reiterate, learn to do it yourself. It'll serve you so much better in the long run. You put in a little work, it'll take more time, but it'll pay off. How did you develop your logo? My logo is a funny story. That was something I had my buddy. At the time, I knew nothing about graphic design. Now I'm pretty good with graphic design, and I could probably do it myself. But at the time, I had a buddy who knew like basically nothing about graphic design. But like I gotta give him some more credit. He knew a little bit, but like very basic graphic design, I guess. Not even graphic design. He knew how to like use like Microsoft Paint, right? Like that's all it was. And we were just kind of jamming. It was like, he's not a magician, but like he's creative enough. And we just sat down. I was like, oh, I kind of want to make a logo because I think like branding is important. So here's my logo. I got on the hat, got on the shirt. It's down in the corner. Where is it? Right there. You know, all over. You guys have seen it. And so I was just like thinking. And then I like originally I was like, oh, sleight of hand. And then I was like, oh, what about a hand with like my initials? I don't know, I kind of thought of it. I was like, that sounds kind of dumb. And then, you know, we were able to like really like craft it in a nice way. So I have like the Jack of Hearts tattooed here. At the time, though, I didn't. And that's why it's on a different finger than the tattoo that I have. There's a reason it's on this ring finger. And in real life, I have it on the middle finger. But it's because I made these first, but there is a reason that it's here. And the Jack of Hearts was my favorite card, so I wanted that in the logo, and then I just literally put my initials, and I was like, it kind of looks lame, so we like, how can we make it more interesting? So we like extended the F out to here, we extended the R down, added this little thing, and I'm like, you know what, that looks pretty cool. And then this is actually a nice, you probably don't notice it, but this little like, it's like, why is this not like a nice flush line, this little corner here? Because this is a real picture of my hand. So this was, what was it? It was this, yeah, this part. It's this part of my tattoo. There's like that little, it's like the end of the shading. And it kind of, when we like cut around my hand in the image that we used as the template, it kept that. And it's just like all these little personal details that you look at such a basic logo and you're like, it's just your initials in a hand. It's like, no, there's like actually a lot more to it. And it was just simple. For logo design, I always say simple, modern, and clean. That's what you want to focus on. ChatGPT is a great option these days if you want to like say, make me a very modern logo for a magician. Try to come up with your idea outside of it, or use it first with just the text and say, give me some logo ideas like just in text. Because if you just have it like create you a logo and you say, I'm a magician, you know, blah, 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 it's going to give you like a playing card or like a spade, like every other magician. So try to think of what you want. Try to use something maybe outside of magic and tie it into magic in a little way. Like Nemeth Phoenix has a cool logo I saw in one of his recent videos where he's like incorporating the phoenix from his last name. So it's like a phoenix, which I think is like an awesome idea, right? I have a hand, which, I mean, it's not the most creative thing, but it's different and it stands out. It's nice and bold. And I think it's a clean logo. It just looks nice. And so I haven't wanted to change it. I don't think I want to. I really like this logo and I'm happy with it. So, but that's my thoughts on logo design. Your version is amazing. And Aussie's A-Can is great too. So my A-Can is amazing. Yes, I agree. My J30 A-Can is incredible. If you want to learn it, it's on my website. And Aussie's is great. Started getting into using a thumb tip more and more lately. Do you have any tips? Sorry, I lost it. Do you have any tips or tricks you do with one if you use one? It's like vanishing cigarette, David Williamson salt trick. I honestly never use a thumb tip personally. It's just it doesn't fit my style. Again, like I'm super minimal, so I can do billet switches without a thumb tip. Like that's what I would use them for. Like there's some cool, I talk about some cool thumb tip switches on my Mentalism course on the membership from the Animan book. And there's some really cool billet switches with a thumb tip, but I know plenty of billet switches without, so I just like personally probably wouldn't carry one around, so I don't have tons to say on a thumb tip. I also do magic as a hobby too, and I'm an engineering student. Oh, awesome. What kind of engineering are you in? Recently purchased tap. Any ideas you have that you can use? Vedant Magic. So Vedant is he's a member of the Wizard tier actually. So man, if you are interested in just leaving a comment what you thought of some of the content on the Wizard tier, the Wizard tier is my new membership tier. I have a whole membership here on the channel. You can go check that out. Link in the description and all that. But I have a so there's 3 tiers. There's the Fairy tier, which is the supporter tier. There's the Mentalist tier, which unlocks the Practical Mental Magic course. There's 40 tutorial videos all on mentalism. I'm breaking down everything from Practical Mental Magic, brand new ideas, concepts, my spins on everything, revamping it into the 21st century. And then the Wizard tier is where you get everything, full course, plus all of my best material and my lectures and masterclasses. So my full mental minimalism live lecture. So like literally in front of a room of magicians, you see me perform the real lecture to real people I filmed that in Buffalo in the States. So that lecture's up there. It's like 2 hours. I have the Propless Mentalism Masterclass, which is probably the best project I've ever done. It's up there. 2 hours of crazy Propless Mentalism material. Propless Billiardwork lecture. I've taught some Propless effects up there. I have an ACAN coming soon and One Ahead Masterclass, all kinds of stuff. So that's like my full membership, the Wizard tier. So Vedant Magic is a member of that. So if you want to leave a quick what you think of it in the comments, if you've enjoyed the content, what you think of some of the stuff up there, I'd appreciate it. But Tap, so I assume you're talking about the Architect of Predictions, the app. I actually don't have that app. I know about it and it's great. I just personally, again, like I have stuff that accomplishes similar things, and so I haven't felt the need for it. But so unfortunately, I can't really give you like other ideas, just because I haven't played with it quite enough. But I'm sure I think that's the Architect of Predictions is when you can alter pictures on your own phone to have predictions in it, if I'm correct. If I'm correct about that, just confirm with me, and I will let you know. See if I have any ideas for that. There's also this thing called the Tap Force that I'm going to be talking about in a video soon. Tap Force? Yeah, Tap Force. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a really cool $1 project coming out from a friend of mine, Danny, who's also a member of the channel, and I'm going to be sharing kind of the core method in a video in a couple of weeks, in 2-3 weeks. It's really good. It's a really, really cool force. It's an alternative to the calculator force. So actually I can probably show it to you really quick. I'm not going to share the method here, but Danny gave me permission to talk about it I have a sick tutorial coming out in like 3 weeks. Crazy book test Pegasus page routine in my repertoire series. And he shares an idea in this, and he allowed me to touch on it in there, and it's just so good. His little idea, the tap force, he called it, just remind me. So basically so let's say I want to force a two-digit number. Let's say I want to force a number like 84. So you'd show them, okay, if you can type, and each time you type, it's a completely different number. If you go face down, I want to make it random. So there's a 3-digit number, but let's just do it twice. So I turn it face down, 1, 2, random number every single time, right? And I keep tapping 5, but that's just coincidence there. 26, right? So each time. So this time I'm going to go down. You just tap once, twice, and then you turn up, and it's 84. That's it. There's no move. There's no app. Nothing. It is so awesome. Really sneaky. So I'll be sharing that. It's sick. It's so sick. And he's selling it for $1. Literally $1. And he's donating it to charity. So it's literally like you can't not do it. You can't not get it. It's really awesome. Your website looks super professional. Thank you. Jobu Tupaki, I have a question, sir. Let me know what your question is. Take everything this guy says with a grain of salt. This man can't even do a top change. Oh my God, this guy. So if you don't know the whole top change thing, it's a joke. There was this video, I can't remember the video, maybe you know, but there's this video where like I was talking about like I think it's from my Dear Magician series probably. I was talking about like people hating on each other in magic, and I was like I literally have like a very nice top change, a very good top change, and you know, this one guy's like keeps commenting about my top, not him, but like some other guy was like actually hating on it, and I'm like, like you can't deny like it's a good top change. Like it's just like look at it and it's good, right? And ever since like Joe was commenting all the time about like I think you need to work on your top change. It's all jokes. It's hilarious. So yeah, he's just joking, but it's funny. Are there any ways to locate a named card without looking through the deck and culling the card or some sort of memorized deck? Any way to locate a named card? So, I mean, technically it is, like, I'll point you to my auto index. That's the first thing. It technically does involve a cull and looking through the deck, but it's like, it's all about the philosophy and the timing as to how you can do that without making the audience remember it and how you can do it a lot faster. So, like, for example, with the auto index, I'm just going to back up a bit because I don't want to lower the camera yet, but so they can shuffle the deck and they can name like the Queen of Clubs, for example. Well, before they do that, I would spread the cards like this and I would say, okay, name any card that you want. And let's say they say Queen of Clubs. Well, all I have to do is close the spread and now I can go into whatever else, but I've located and controlled the Queen of Clubs. And that could literally, be any card at all. It just happened that, that was there. But let's say this time they say Six of Hearts. You could say Six of Hearts, like that literally could have been any one of these cards. And I know it looks like a cull, but because it is, but there's a lot more, if you've seen the video, psychology that goes into it. And obviously just like me showing it to the camera, it just looks like a cull. But in the context of performance, how you use it, you don't, a lot of the time for the cull, I suggest just saying like, let them shuffle. Okay, Jack of Hearts. And then you say, okay, look, you can see all these cards are mixed. You shuffled them. Let's just take a look, see how well it is. I want you to have an image in your head of how the cards were mixed, and then you can get the control in that. But this is without drawing attention to it. So this I use in my what do I call it? My invisible deck, my invisible deck routine. So that I basically do something like this. So I say, okay, we're going to take a card. We're going to reverse it in the middle of the deck, and I'm going to have, we're going to see if you can pick up on what that card is. So if you were to name any card, what would you say? Let's say they say Ace of Clubs, for example, and you say, okay, Ace of Clubs, and that's a great choice. That could have literally been any card, right? And then I will, it's hard from this angle, but I'll say, look, and if you would have said the Four of Spades or the Ace of Spades, it would have been completely different, but you said one card, which was the Ace of Clubs. Obviously there's a lot more that goes into it, but it's all about the psychology. So that's one thing. If you're going to do a named card, I have a thought of card weighted principle I called weighted average, which I have taught on the channel, and I'm going to be touching on, if we have time later in the live, I was going to teach a trick using that. What else for named cards? I mean, edge marking, right? Did you, mark deck. So a marked deck that's edge marked is a really good option. There's one, David, I saw you're in here. What's that edge marked deck that you have there? The one with the dots all over it? I met the guy at Blackpool. He's a nice guy, and his deck's pretty good. So it's all edge marked, so you could just look, cut right to the card from the edge marking. So those are some of my ideas. That Buffalo Electron Wizard tier is so good. Yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, it is awesome. If you want to check that out, join the Wizard tier. It is incredible bang for your buck up there. What Toxic Force with no app on a calculator? Yeah, no app. It's crazy. No app. It's just a regular deck, and it's so good. So it's $1, and it's and I'll be teaching the main principle for free in a couple of weeks. Where do I get the calculator trick? So I know he's planning to release it on Pablo Amira's website for $1. I don't think it's out yet though, but you could check Pablo Amira's website. I think he's calling it the Tap Force. So it's called the Invoked deck by Magic and Cards. Yeah, this my close-up pad is by Magic and Cards. So I think, let me see if I can quickly. Yeah, so my close-up pad with my gold logo on it. So this is like just, I think, the Murphy's close-up pad, but they'll buy them and then do this custom printing on it. So I printed, the close-up pad with the logo. It's a nice close-up pad. I'm quite a fan of it. So it's from Magic and Cards as well. But their Invoked deck, that's the edge mark deck. That's quite nice, and it's marked on the back too. It's a pretty awesome deck. Okay, so then how do you make a set list for a gig? Okay, so I just talked about in my Street Magic Masterclass from last week, I talked all about creating set lists for Street Magic. I would take a very similar approach to creating it for a gig. So obviously it depends on the gig. I'm assuming if you're doing a stage show that, you know, the set list creation is going to be different, and you would have an idea of how to create a set list for stage because it is quite different. But for close-up, when you're creating your set lists, the important thing is what I would do is structure exactly how I talk about in that video. So I'll go over it quickly here, but you're basically going to write down all of your tricks that you want to do. So stuff you know really well that hits really hard. And then you're going to put them into categories. So you're going to put your like, let's say you have 15 tricks, okay? You're going to put your top 5 best ones in one category. You're going to take your top 5 openers. So these are going to be ones that you're the most confident with, that's the easiest to do, that are like quick and snappy, hard hitting. So put 5 openers, 5 closers, and then your middle ones, whatever's left over. Maybe stuff you want to experiment with a little bit, or a little bit more risky, or just good transition pieces. Then you're going to figure out how you want, then you're going to take one from each of those 3 groups and create a set. So you want to think about how you want to put it together. So the first thing to look at is like props and setup. So if let's say it's all a card magic, and your tricks are like transpose, shuffleboard, and my J30A can. So J30A can obviously is the best trick there, so I'm going to close with it. You know, transpose a great opener, so I might open with it. But then if I can't put really shuffleboard in the middle because it uses a prepared deck, it has to be stacked in a certain way. So maybe I should not put shuffleboard there, and I should take it out and have a mentalism piece as an opener, and then I can just pull out my deck and go into shuffleboard in the middle for the card trick, and then end with a really strong card effect. Because, you know, like I shouldn't put the opener that uses a regular deck of cards before, because then I'm going to have to do a deck switch or something, and maybe I don't want to do that, right? So it's basically, that's the idea. And so you want to think about props, right? And then you want to think about like how you want to present. Like if you're, say like me, I'm a magician, card magician mentalist, and that's very much my brand. So I want everyone to see some mentalism and some cards, so I'm going to make sure every set has a bit of both in it, right? If you want to just do cards and some pure mentalism sets, then you can do that as well, right? So it all depends what you want to do. Cavin Booth released an app, ACAN. Great idea, you should try it. Yeah, that's his Arcarn, I think, random card at random number. Yeah, no, Cavin's a great dude. We met at Blackpool. You know, we've done a collab here on the channel before. I still have this from Blackpool in my deck. He signed that. I was showing him some trick, and I still have that in the deck that I'm using as my practice deck right now, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, his Arcarn looks great. Looks great. You know, I have my J30A can that I do, and so I stick with that personally. That's my favorite ACAN, but his looks great. Yeah, really cool idea. So I did want to talk about some random, or not random, but some videos that are coming up. So yeah, tomorrow's 10K subscriber special, so the Magic Challenge, 10K Magic Challenge, so that's super exciting. I hope everyone enters the competition. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. You get a chance to win some awesome prizes. Then I have a great little self-working trick after that. And then, yes, but the idea is let spectator. Yeah, Vatsal, can you remove that comment if you don't mind? I don't think I can. Maybe I can, just because I don't want to reveal the method to his trick, right? It's a marketed trick, so but yeah, so then after that is Repertoire Episode 3. So that is it's like a book test Pegasus page routine. It's a killer mentalism routine. You could like crush a stage show with this, or you could do it close up or parlor. It's so good. But it's going to be in my repertoire series. So if you don't know my repertoire series, the newest series on the channel where I'm teaching like full routines for. So I've done a close-up card magic set. I've done a walk-around mentalism set, and then I'm going to do kind of a hard hitter mentalism set is going to be the next one coming out in a few weeks, and that's where I talk about the tap force idea. So that's awesome. Then after that, I have Dear Magicians episode 13. It's going to be a controversial one, but that's okay. I'm excited for it. Dear Magicians is kind of my rant series. Then in about 5 weeks after that, I'll be teaching my handling on the Kelly bottom placement. Really excited for that because I got a ton of cool ideas, including ideas how to do a force with the Kelly bottom placement. Bet you never thought you could do that. And then we got Mentalism 101 episode 16 after that, which is going to be about the one ahead. It's going to be about the one ahead. Finally, I'm making a video on the one ahead. No, App Acan is on YouTube at least. Oh, did he? Oh, you're right. He might have already shared it on YouTube, how it works. Okay, never mind then. But yeah, so then Mentalism 101 on the one ahead. So I'm going to be releasing my one ahead masterclass, the full thing on my wizard tier, and then I'll be doing the one ahead video from my Mentalism 101 series on the channel, and then a street magic video. So that's what we got in the pipeline for new videos. A lot of great stuff, a lot of really, really exciting material coming up. Okay. What else did I want to touch on? We talked about, Mesika. Gotta talk about the Mesika drama. What a crazy documentary that Craig put out. So, quickly, if you don't know, Yigal Mesika, who is a pretty prolific creator in the magic world, most notably for loops, and the only product of his I've ever used is Electric Touch, believe it or not. So, like, out of my wheelhouse, Electric Touch is basically you would attach this device to your leg, and it would ground you and give you an electric charge, and so when you touch someone, you could literally shock them. And it was a crazy idea, but I knew this guy I used to work with, and he was a magician as well, actually. The only time I've ever really met another magician just kind of like casually, not at a magic convention, just like in day-to-day life. He was a cool guy. He's a lot older, and he had Electric Touch, and he let me try it out for a while. It never really worked all that good for me, but I wasn't really interested, but it was just cool. I played around with it. Anyway, yeah, but basically there's this whole thing. Mark Bennett came out with this reel for this ring flight with an air tag, and then Yigal is basically claiming it's copyright, and then Craig did like a 3-hour like expose, which I watched every minute of. Not sitting there like a movie, but I had it playing in the background. I'm not that crazy, but it was interesting. You know, it's a good watch or listen, and it was crazy, man. Like, I think he's obviously a very toxic dude, and the fact that I haven't seen anyone on his side, which is good. You know, it's very good. The fact that he, you know, is not legally having these copyrights. He just has, or these patents, and he has these patent pending, is kind of wild to me, because, you know, you can't enforce a pending patent. But it's just like, you know, trying to bully the smaller creators, which totally works. You know, I mean, like, if you have, people are really worried about damaging their image and that sort of thing. So, you know, that's definitely what's going on here, and it's very wrong. You know, obviously there are things that are much closer in relation that are released compared to other things, and even what he patented wasn't even original. It already existed with the whole rinky dinky thing, or whatever that trick is called, the original. So yeah, I really I mean, it goes to show you, right? There are some bad apples in every industry. And, you know, I never really have supported him in the past. I always had a kind kind of a weird feeling about him, I guess, and that is now evident that I was right. Real mentalism right there, you know. But yeah, okay, let's see if we have anything else to chat about, and then we'll jump down to the card table. If you have any card magic things you want to talk about or learn, or any moves you want me to teach or touch on or anything, we're going to jump down to the card table in a minute. Okay, I think we've talked about everything that I wanted to touch on. New videos, lecture. If you want me to lecture for your club, send me an email. We can set that up. Okay. I think there was one more question, then we'll jump down. Any tips for beginner magicians? I would say pick a niche and stick to it. So if you want to be a card magician, you want to be a mentalist, start with one branch and stick to it. Get good at that. Good enough. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Good enough that you can kind of not master, but you can get good enough that you can go perform in that niche. Then throw yourself out there, start performing as quickly as possible, because I think that's the goal. The reason I say pick a niche is so you can go and start performing as quickly as possible. So, you know, you go out there and you perform, and if you stick to a niche and you get really good at it, you'll be a lot quicker being ready to perform. Your first few performances, friends, family, always from almost day one, the first trick you learn, start showing friends and family right away. That'll just get you so much better, so much quicker. And then once you're good enough that you feel confident you can perform, for regular people, go perform some street magic in your town. Film it. Go listen to my street magic masterclass. It'll lay it all out for you. How to do all of that, how to approach, how to film, what tricks to do, all that. Go do that, get some footage, and just continue to street magic, get as much performing experience, learn new stuff. If you want to start to branch out into other types of magic, do that. Learn. And then, you know, you can, if you really want me to give you a full, like, high-level, quick blueprint, Undertow, yes. Oh, I love to talk about Undertow. I just saw that comment come in. If you really want a quick high-level blueprint, that's what I would do to start. Then once you've performed some street magic, then start posting some of that footage on Instagram and YouTube, TikTok and Facebook as well if you'd like, but Instagram and YouTube mainly. Even just as short-form content, you know. Start posting that. Start to build a little bit of social proof. You don't need a ton of followers, but you just want videos of you out there. If you're filming, you'll have constant... If you're out there doing street magic, you'll have constant inflow of content that you can cut up. In one night for like 2 hours, you can probably make 30 plus short form videos from that, you know, if you do like 20, 30 tricks. And then start posting that. And then you got to create a website. Again, use Wix. You can design it for free. One pager, just some photos from your street magic, put together some videos from your street magic, reaction clips. You know, even clip some testimonials, like just quote sentences from what people have said when you're performing magic. This guy's incredible, whatever they say. Well, that was insane. And just put that on your website. That's good enough. That's a testimonial, right? Now you have testimonials, you have footage, you have film. Put the website out there, get it live, and then, you know, I would start with restaurants. Approach a restaurant, try to get a restaurant residency. Approach a bunch of restaurants in your area. Say, I want to come in on Fridays for 3 hours, entertain your guests. You know, you'll tell them why you are, what you're going to do for their business. I'm going to, you know, keep customers entertained while they're waiting, and it'll help drive more business. You can advertise that you're having a magician these nights, blah, 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 bring in more people. And, you know, even if you offer it for free for the first month or whatever, and then, you know, you start getting paid. Restaurants get some business cards made, or QR code business cards, so you can just have the people scan it on their phone, hand those out at your gigs, get more people in, start to drive traffic towards your social media, your website, and snowball, gigs, professional magician, done, right? I want to show you guys one thing. So the show me a trick tee. So if I could have a couple of people just spam some suits in the chat, and then separately spam some card values, and I'll just pick like the first ones that I see. So in the chat, spam some suits and some card value. So this is an awesome shirt. This is something I released with the launch of my website like 3 years ago. And I never really released it properly. And like I made a trailer for it, but it's kind of not a great performance. And I don't really like the trailer. It was my first attempt at a trailer. It's pretty bad. And the performance wasn't great, but this is such a tricky trick to get on camera because it's one of those unique tricks that oftentimes happens organically in the moment. So like I'm not even filming, I'm just walking and the trick starts because it's just one of those things that's like lifestyle magic, right? It happens, you get into it. So what this trick is, I'll kind of perform it for you quickly and kind of share with you kind of the idea. But essentially what happens is you're going to approach someone and then, or not, or they're going to, so hold on. So let me cycle back before I jump into that. So this shirt is something I released on my website. I didn't really officially launch it. Like it was very quiet under the radar. I had maybe like 1,000 subscribers when I released it and all that. And sorry, I was thinking about something else. And so I'm going to relaunch it soon. But it's a really cool shirt because it's a fully self-contained trick, right? It's got a fully self-contained trick within the shirt. So it's the ultimate everyday carry. All you need to do is put on the shirt and you have a 3-phase trick built into the fabric of the shirt. So how the shirt normally starts, and one thing I'll say, there's if you have trouble approaching people to perform, this is the ultimate shirt. It takes all that away. People will approach you. And the reason is on the back of it. Let me see if you, there you go. It says, ask to see a magic trick, okay? And I'm telling you, I'll give you 2 disclaimers. If you're going to consider picking up this shirt, you need to 100% always have a trick ready to go because people are going to ask you. And, okay, and you need to always bring a change of clothes, another shirt, because eventually you're going to get so annoyed with people coming up to you and asking to see magic, you're going to want to change your shirt. And I'm not kidding about that. Like, people just come up constantly asking to see magic when I'm wearing this. When I wear street magic, I just put on this shirt. I don't even need to approach people anymore. And I never had a problem approaching people, but that's one thing. The second thing is, I said always have a trick ready, but this has a trick already in it. So what does a trick look like? So basically there's 2 ways to get into it. One is kind of the organic performance. Someone says, hey, can I see a magic trick? The other version, if you want to like actually just perform this trick, is you can like prompt someone to ask you. But let's say it's organic. So I'm walking down the street, they see the back of my shirt, right? And they say, they see, hey, excuse me, can I see a magic trick? And I go, you want to see a magic trick? Really? You want to see a magic trick? Yeah? Okay, sure. There you go. A magic trick. Right? It's like a stupid little dad joke. Okay, that usually gets a laugh or like an eye roll, right? And I say, okay, here's what we'll do. I want you to think of any playing cards. So let's start with a suit. I want you to think of any suit. So you could go for like spades, for example. Just something and burn it in at the front of your mind. So let's say they go for. Let me check the chat. So I see hearts at the top here. So let's say they go hearts. Okay, so they go hearts, and then you say, okay. Now I want you to think of a value, okay? But you're not going to tell me what the value is. Just keep that playing card in your head. And how crazy would it be if I had your card that you're just thinking of printed on your shirt? Wouldn't it be insane if I had your card printed on my shirt? And they say, yes, of course. And you say, check this out. And then you come here. Oh, wrong sleeve, sorry. Camera messed me up. And then you come here and you go and you reveal your card. Then, incredibly, okay guys, hold on. No, I'll finish the performance and then I'll go. Okay, and then you say, okay, I'm just kidding, another dad joke. This always gets a good laugh. And then you're like, and finally, what was the card you're just thinking of? And they say, I see 4, so let's go 4 of hearts. You say 4 of hearts, really? That's incredible. You're not going to believe it, but there's one card that's printed on my shirt. And if you show them, I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully, it shows up a lot better in person, but I don't know if you guys can see. Right there, that says 4 of hearts. I'm assuming that didn't show up very well on camera, but it's awesome. Okay, guys, I just had the doorbell ring. I'm getting a TV delivered, and I don't want to leave it sitting on the porch, so give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to go run and grab it, okay? And then I will be back. What should I put up in the meantime? I'm just going to... Anyway, that's the Show Me a Trick tee. We'll talk about it in a minute. Just give me 2 seconds. What? I used to have a be right back, but I don't have it set anymore. So I'm just going to put this. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to run and grab that TV because I didn't want to leave it outside. I was getting a new TV. Anyway, Show Me a Trick tee. So that was the high-level performance. Obviously, I ran up the stairs. Obviously, I have 2 flights of stairs. Don't worry, I'm not out of shape. Well, that is kind of bad, actually. I don't know why I'm so out of breath. So it's just the talking. So basically... you perform this, right? You get this funny little first phase, a magic trick. You want to see a magic trick? Sure, a magic trick. And there's a lot of handlings with like, again, when they'll see you from behind, so you turn around like this, reveal it, a magic trick. You know, how crazy would it be if I had your card printed on my shirt? It says your card, haha. And then you go into, yes, we can see. Okay, great, so you could see that. Then you go into it and you reveal the 4 of hearts. How the heck did you have 4 of hearts on your shirt? As soon as I lose more of my beer belly, I'm getting a couple of those. Yeah, man, they're awesome. David, don't worry. We got the double XL for you, man, if you need. No, it does not have all 52 cards printed on the shirt. That would be wild. Or maybe it does. Shh. No, I'm not telling you. But yeah, you would see them. So, anyway, so that is a Show Me a Trick tee. So let me just give you a little hint of tomorrow. There's an opportunity. One of the prizes, not the top prize, but one of the prizes for the 10K subscriber challenge is a free Show Me a Trick tee. So there's been an uptick in people buying them in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if how people, maybe I talked about it in a video. I think I did actually. But there's been a few people who have picked it up, and I've got some really good feedback. Like, a lot of people have emailed me like, wow, this is so good. Like, this is such an under the radar thing. You know, I love wearing it. You're totally right. Like, I actually had one guy, super nice guy, Fred, and I really appreciate this. He sent me a video, and he actually just sat down, filmed a video, and sent me a video. It was kind of like a review feedback type thing, and I'll probably use it in some capacity when I relaunch the Show Me a Trick tee, because he had a lot of really nice things to say. He's like, you're totally right that, like, it's crazy how much I'm getting asked to show a magic trick. When I wear this, I couldn't even get out of the parking lot, and someone asked me to see a trick, right? And so he's like, it's so brilliant. He's like, the reactions I've got are insane. The reactions are insane. I did this on Lloyd Barnes in Blackpool, and he was pretty fried when I showed it to him. It was pretty funny. I wish I had that on footage. It would have been good. But it's really awesome, and it gets really good reactions. And he was like, yeah, it's so good. And he had actually 2 suggestions for just like little things to improve, like the font and like little tweaks to the function. And like, they were actually, one of them was a really good suggestion. I don't know how I didn't think about it. So luckily these are all drop shipped. So they're not like, I don't print a bunch of them and I have them in a warehouse and then I deliver them when people buy them. They're printed on command, which is great because when I want to make a change, if there's an update, I just make the change and the next person who orders it will have the one with the change. So there was a minor update that I made before I relaunched it, and it's just going to help with the overall performance of it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. If you want to check that out, it is on my website. What are these crown things in the chat? I guess it's like top XP. I don't know what the XP, how you get XP. Anyway, so what did I want to, oh, let's go down to the card table. Yes, let's do that. Okay, there's a couple of things we needed to talk about. Card table cam, where are you? Okay, let's lift these up. So, okay, let's go down to here. Okay, so let's talk about, Mike asked about a trick with an odd backed card. So there was this one trick that I used to do. How did that work? Yes, okay. This is a trick called The Stranger by Daniel Madison. And I think it was called The Stranger. It's really good. So you write a prediction. So you get a card from a different colored deck, right? So you write a prediction. Should I try to draw a spade? Yeah, let's do it. That's pretty good. Okay, so you write a prediction, you hand that to them, and you have your deck set up like this. So the odd back card on top. Now, these are blue bordered. Like I would get a matching white border deck, obviously. It's going to hide it a lot better. But they'll think you have a red deck. Now you say, okay, I'm going to deal through the cards, and you just call stop whenever you want. And obviously the faces don't match either, but they should. So now I'm just second dealing, right? But if you do it properly, they'll just see that they're all red cards. It'll just look like all red cards. And because I'm flipping it face up, they can't tell. Then when they say stop, you say, okay, so we'll take your card. And you take off the top card as you risk kill. And you say, like, look, you could have picked any one of these. And I guess you should take out the the card that matches the 7 of spades so they don't see it. But you say, you know, that's crazy. Check my prediction and it'll match, right? And then you say, but the crazy thing is, you know, you could have said stop anywhere, but this was actually the only red backed card in the deck, right? So that's a really good one. Of course, Chicago Opener is the other one that comes to mind. So you're gonna put the indifferent card and its matching card on the bottom, indifferent card being on the bottom most. You have them, you know, you have them take a card, boom, you cut it into the middle, and then you say, oh, there's one card that change backs. Let's check what it is. And of course, double lift, it'll be their card, set it down, and then you just Hindu force or any other kind of force that bottom card, 7 of spades. Okay, let's look. Oh, nothing there. And then it'll have changed to that one. So those are my two favorite kind of card tricks with indifferent cards. So we have a question about undertow and my favorite trick. So undertow is not easy at all. That was okay. So undertow is basically you do this, 2 of hearts, Queen of diamonds. And this angle's not the best, but so you have a card in palm. And then you say, okay, 4 of hearts. And you say, I'll take the 4 of hearts. And when you turn it over, it's the King of Hearts. So essentially from the exposed angle, it's very hard. You are taking the card like this and straightening it out in that motion, okay? Not easy at all, but that is from, I actually have it. Let me grab it. That is from, If an Octopus Could Palm. So that is a Dan and Dave book. It's got some crazy sleights in here. But Undertow is probably the most popular one from this book. So let's discuss it a little bit. So you get the palm. Now this card is going underneath these two fingers, kind of like if you were gripping it like this with the thumb on the back, right? Now, your thumb is going to contact the top corner of this card, and you're pushing that top corner forward, kind of pivoting around this corner that's in the top of your hand, and this comes up. And it's just about lining it up. You just have to get comfortable like where you need to stop. Now, my biggest tip and modification that I do when I do Undertow is I come to here, and then the left hand comes and grabs the corner. And I'm grabbing it at the edges to square it, and then I bring the right hand down to this corner to square it, and then I can square like that, right? And so doing it that way, you can get a pretty... That one wasn't very good, but it's super hard. I mean, I don't really use this move in performance, but you can see there's still flashes there. That one was better. But boom, 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 right? Not bad. And then I can hit them with the... Oh, I gotta get a better angle. There you go. Let's go. Almost. Oh, it's these cards, man. New deck. Let me do it with a... something fun I've been playing with recently. Man, I'm not getting it right now, though. There, that one was good. So empty hands. Boom. Boom. Empty hands, and I'm gonna go, oh, that flashed, but it's okay. Bertram change. Then we got 7 of spades into the 10 of hearts. Not bad for a live take. Anyway, so that's my kind of thoughts on Undertow. Not easy at all. There's another move in there that I do, the Klepto Palm or whatever. So this one is crazy. So it's like a top card palm into bottom palm. So it kind of looks like this. And the exposed view looks crazy. So basically, you're pulling it up around and pivoting it under the deck into a palm like that. I think it's Klepto Palm, I think this one or something. Trying to keep it exposed. So this one's like so hard to hide. But as like a quick, if you ever were in a situation where you quickly need this card into palm and you don't want to go like shuffle, push over, bottom palm, you could just hit them with the Klepto Palm really quick. That one wasn't great. Let's do it again. Ugh, try it again. Very hard moves. Come on. No, I lost it. There we go. So it's really like, it's almost like reminds me of like a skateboard move. Like it just flings around. It's kind of cool. Red Hot Mama, Chicago opener. Yes. My favorite trick, my favorite card trick is my J30A can. So that's available to learn on my website. Crazy, crazy trick. They think of a number. They create any card they want. They make all the decisions. And then they can deal down to that card to find that number under the fairest conditions. They've been holding the deck the whole time. Everything is within their control. It gets the whole audience involved. And then once they reveal that card, then you can reveal that the rest of the deck was entirely blank. And it's the only card at that number. It's pretty crazy. What books would you recommend for mentalism? Practical Mental Magic. That's my favorite mentalism book. So Practical Mental Magic by Ted Anneman. Psychological Subtleties is good. And newer books, I would say, I really like Peter Turner's Mentalism Masterclass volumes, the 1 to 13 volume set. I have his PK book. I forgot my head is in this. You guys can see me up here. That's right. Hopefully I didn't do anything weird. So up here I have his PK book on display back there. I forgot I had that. Yeah. So, hold on. Let me see. But yeah, so if you're interested, like the best book in my opinion, The Fundamentals, is Animan. And I have a course all about Animan. Let me show quickly. Website. Where is Safari? There we go. Let me show real quick. If you go to the channel and you go to playlists, I have a course, the Practical Mental Magic course. So this is on my Mentalism membership. So there's over 40 tutorials. So I'm basically going through Practical Mental Magic effect by effect. And even if you have the book, this is worth it though, because I teach it on video, but I'm not just teaching the effects. I'm breaking down and revamping and changing effects, method, premises, because a lot of these are pretty dated. So there's a ton of new ideas in here, and there's some really, really great gold in there. Mike is a member, David's a member, a bunch of you guys in here are members, so you guys can speak to the course and these different things. So if you want to learn, I think this is the best mentalism resource you can have right now, especially for like learning everything there is to know. And then Vasal, you're asking about J38 can performance. Yes, so if you go either to my website, that's probably the easiest. Just go to my website, go shop, and then J38 can, and then check out the trailer. If you check out the trailer, there's a live performance in there. This is on the channel too, but you'd probably have to scroll back a bit to find it. Okay, so. Okay, you perform undertow well. Thank you, my friend. Do you know any other fun knacky moves? There's been this that I've been playing with recently, which is 4 of diamonds, and that's a double load. So there's lots of things you can do with it, but I like doing it from face up. So I'd get the 7 of spades in a palm, put the card here, and I'd say, okay, well, take out your 3 of hearts, and it changes into the 7 of spades, right? So I'm basically coming here, grabbing this, and in the action of grabbing it, I am the knacky moves. I need a deck that's more broken in, but boom, right? And it changes in the moment where I come and you say, okay, Queen of Diamonds, let me take that out of the deck, and then your card turns into the 8 of Hearts, right? That one's fun. If I take the 8 of Hearts like this, there's this one that I always used to do. Give the card a spin, push it in, and it comes to the top. Love that move. Oh, I used to really love doing this. I haven't done it in so long. So 9 of hearts into the middle. And it's on top. And I can also, this was a Ramsey move from way back in the day. 6 of diamonds. There you go. Let me try to get it better. Up this a little bit. Oh, I didn't show the card. So 5 of hearts. That one looked cool. That was not what I was intending for, though. Hold on. Let's try it one more time. I just want to get it in the palm. There we go. Palmed it out. So that one's knacky. I don't know. I'm pretty good at the DPS, so it's not really knacky for me anymore, but I guess that was one that I always considered to be like a bit of a knack. Oh, I know. my DPS cover control. Let's see if I can nail it. 3 of diamonds into the middle, right? I push it into the middle, and it's on top. Let's try it again. Jack of hearts. It's on top. Let's try one more. 10 of clubs. All right, you can see that. No funny business. Going right. Oh, flash. Okay, I'm stuck. Got stuck. Let's try it again. 3 of diamonds. Right, no funny moves. Just push her right into the middle. Oh, no, I missed it again. One more. Come on. End on a good one. 10 of clubs. Push it. Oh, this is going to be bad. Okay. I lost it from the beginning. Come on. Can't get it now. 10 of clubs. There we go. Boom. 10 of clubs on top. And I love that because, so there's the DPS to top, which is pretty knacky too, where you DPS it to the top, right? Shift it through on top. Let's try to get it a little bit more covered. No, it's just the angle. The camera's a bit low, so I'm flashing underneath, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah, I don't love this camera angle, to be honest. Let's try it from here. Oh, come on, man. Okay, Jack of hearts. Boom. There, that was better. Boom, right? Now the cover control, you're putting it second from top. So it's here. Push it in, and now you can like go slow, and they can see the top card. Yet it can turn into the jack, right? It looks sick if you do it slow. So it's like, keep your eye on the top card. I'll push that in, and then you can, oh, I lost it again, but I kind of recovered. It was a bit slow, a bit too slow. And then in this case, you know, they saw the top card and you just do a double and it looks like it's on top. DPS to top is great. Yeah, I'm going to teach it at some point. You know, it's always something I've wanted to teach. You know, you're basically just pulling through, going up like that, right? Cover it with a little riffle. So that's one that's always been a fun one to do. And it's pretty smooth, except when I can't do it. It's pretty smooth. I don't do it a lot, but oh, I love, my favorite like top control is probably the float switch. So that looks like this. Oh no, it's, sorry, that looks like this. 2 of, I can't even remember. Oh yeah, okay, 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs. Just gotta let my muscle memory take over. Hold on, what am I doing wrong? Ah, okay, got it. Putting the card in the wrong spot. 2 of clubs. Okay. God, the problem is I'm looking at myself in the camera. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta just do the move. Queen of hearts. Come on, man. Do this all the time. 5 of spades. Boom. Not getting it right now. I guess I haven't done this one in a while. Queen of hearts. Okay, I'm gonna not watch the screen. That's what I gotta do. Oh, I'm doing the wrong move. Okay, King of clubs. There we go. Hopefully that one looked good. And it's on top. Is it original? The DPS to top? I mean, I think other people have variations of the DPS to top, but my handling of that is original. The cover control is original. I've never seen anyone do DPS to second from top with the use of a cover card. One of my favorite original moves is called the Talon control. I haven't taught this anywhere, but what's the sequence? I was like, oh, I like to do it from a center double. So I'll go like this, boom, boom. Actually, no, I don't want to. Let's do it this way instead. Okay, so Jack of spades. You can see that, and I'll even show it to you. It's down there in the middle, right? No question, and I push in the Jack of spades. And it's on top, and that can be signed, no duplicates, nothing like that. It's pretty awesome. I sometimes do a Herman pass with a top cover, but the DPS is more natural looking. So you do a cover pass, Herman pass. That's interesting. So you come to here. Oh, that's kind of tricky. And you go up in there. So you'd be like, you'd have to have like a big break, and you go like 4 diamonds, and then you go boom, oh, boom, and then it's on top. That's cool. That's a nice idea. Anyway, what I wanted to wrap up this live with quickly was I wanted to share a trick with you guys that I've been just playing with. It's not really done yet, and I'll probably teach it on the channel. So there's a trick that I love, do as I do, which I've always used the marked deck version. And I've always wanted a version without a marked deck because I don't often perform with them. So this is really good. So it basically looks like this. So you hand spectator half the deck, you guys each shuffle, and you just say, okay, we're gonna, you're gonna follow my lead, and we're gonna see if a miracle can happen. So I'm gonna pick a card, and you're gonna pick a card. Okay, so just go through and we're each gonna think. It's not even pick, it's think of a card. So they think of one. So let's say they're thinking of that card, but you obviously wouldn't know it, right? So they think of one and you think of one, okay? Now, you're gonna tell them, in order for this to work, we're gonna try to pick up on each other's card, and so I really want you to kind of lock it in, what your card is, and I really need you to kind of focus and see and have a visual representation of that card. That way I can try to read you and you can try to read me. So what you're going to do, you're going to pick up the deck towards you, and you're going to set down cards on the table until you arrive with your card that you're thinking of on the face, and I'm going to do the same. So I do that, and then you tell, and they'll be following along, so I'll do it with that packet in a minute, and then you say whatever the value of that card is, you're going to count that number of cards off the face. So in this case, I'll count the number of cards off the face, and then I'll set that down. And again, this might seem confusing, but again, it's very simple with the instructions. I'm just kind of breezing through this, and they're following along. And then you say, focus on your card, visualize it, and then set it down. So they're going to do that. So they're going to go through till they see the card they chose, set it face down. Then they're going to count the number of cards that matches the value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set the rest down, really focus, visualize, set this down. Okay? Now you say, we're going to switch packets. Okay? So you switch packets, so now I have this, they have that, and you say we're going to try to find each other's chosen card. So now you as the magician, again, it's just the thought of card, they never touched it, they never picked one, they never nothing. You're going to go through and you're actually able to figure out what their card is from that. It's incredible, it's cool, it uses my weighted average principle. So I'm going to set down a card, which I know is their card. And then they are going to set down a card as well. So in this case, I'll just set down, honestly, a random card, because that's the situation I would be in, right? There'd be both of these cards. I wouldn't know what either card is, but they'd have their card and I'd have my card that I've set down for them and they've set down for me, right? And I have no idea of knowing what card they've set down to me. And normally you would read the markings, but I've come up with a really cool way to do this without the markings. So what I would do is actually, you know what? I think I'm going to just change my mind really quick. Let me see. I think they might have went for something different. Let me see. Actually, you know what? I think I'm good with that. I'm going to stick with it. So I'm going to tell them now what I chose. So I chose the 8 of hearts. Let's see how they did. They did great. They got it, the 8 of hearts. That's incredible. And then they obviously chose the 5 of hearts, and I can reveal that I had chosen the 5 of hearts. So that is a sick do as I do routine without the marked deck. So maybe some of you picked up on kind of what went on there and how I was able to know this was the 8 of hearts with a very sneaky, basically it uses a 1 ahead. And I think it's super clever utilizing the 1 ahead in a card trick in this way. So it's a new idea. I thought about it literally like a week ago. And so let me just kind of give you a quick breakdown of what's going on. If you have any last things, probably wrap up the live after I explain this, so just let me know if you have any last things you want to touch on. So what's happening is you divide the card into 2 packets, the deck into 2 packets. Then you say we're each going to think of a card. So look through and think of a card. So you're not doing anything. You're not getting any card. You're just acting. They are going to go through and think of a card. So let's say they pick the 9 of spades. Okay. Now you say, we have to really kind of lock this card into our mind so that I can read you and you can read me. So we're going to do this little procedure to get that card in your mind. So I want you to spread through and set down cards until you arrive with your card on the face. So I won't do it in my packet, but it's nice because the one downside of this is the weighted average principle that I've taught before, but the one downside is that sometimes it can be a little bit confusing with the instructions. But because it's a do as I do, you can literally watch them, make sure they're doing it right, and they're going to see what you're doing, so it's a lot easier for them to follow. So they're going to go through till they see their card on the face. Okay, so they have their card on the face. Now you're going to say, okay, Focus on your card, really visualize it. And the last thing I want you to do is get a sense of the value of that card. So again, you can do this under the table. I don't need to know. So you're going to have them kind of go under the table or turn around. And you say, I just want you to count off the number of cards that matches the value. So if it's a 3, you'd go 1, 2, 3, and set the rest down. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, set the rest down. Now you say one last time, focus. Do you have a really good image of that card, and set everything on top. Now, you then say, okay, we're going to trade packets. I like to give a little false mix to the cards they hand me just to make it seem like I don't care what order these cards are in. And you say, okay, look at me, I look at you. We have now that strong visual of our card. We're going to try to see if we can pick up on each other's, because their card is in here, my card's in there. So I'm going to go through, and here is how I find their card. I just count from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go, 9. And their card will always be the card that has a value that matches the position that it's in. So 1, that's not an ace, so I ignore it. 2, that's not a 2, so I ignore it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's a 9, so that could be their card. 10, in this case, sometimes you do get 2. It could be the 10. 11, 12, 13. So I know it's either the 9 or 10 of diamonds, so in this case I could just do a little fish. Say, oh, I think you went for a red card, didn't you? No? Okay, well, I'll tell you that, I'll tell you I did go for a red card or something. You could give it a little bit, right? Could do that. Anyway, so now you know what their card is and you set it down on the table. Another option is to do this with a key card. So you can do the very similar procedure with a key card. There's a pro and a con. The con is they can't shuffle their packet. So what you need to do is from the start, you let them shuffle, and then when you get the deck back, I would cut it and peek the top card. So you can just do a little palm peek, whereas as you're cutting, you get to do a little one-handed top palm, and you can kind of peek the card underneath your hand like that. So it just looks like this. So you're cutting, palm, and you hand them the whole packet like that, and now you know the 9 of spades is on top. So that's going to be your key card. But let's use the 9 of spades as their selection again. So let's say our key card's the 10 of diamonds. Now if they don't shuffle at this point, you can do this method, which some of you will find easier. The weighted average principle would allow them to now shuffle the deck again. So it depends what your pros and cons are. So they're going to go through, think of a card, and go until they find the card they're thinking of on the face. They'll visualize it, and then you just tell them to cut the packet in their hand, take some of the cards off the top and set it down. Now they don't have to count. That's the pro of this method. They don't have to count. They just set any amount down. And this is our key card, right? Because it's on top, it's going to be our key card. So they're going to set a random amount down. Our key card's here, and then they set everything else on top. And now I just need to look for my 10 of diamonds, and the card to the left of it will be their selection, and I'll set that down. So that's another option. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to reach in, and I'll genuinely shuffle, and this isn't a marked deck, so I have no idea, and I'll take out a random card, and they're going to set a random card down in front of them. So this is the position we'll be in. We have each our packets, and we each have a card. Now, the second they set it down, you're going to pick up both of them. So you're going to take them, and you're going to set their card underneath and put them together in your hands for a split second. And you're just going to say, all right, so we've each set down a card for each other. And then you say, actually, you know what? We're going to leave them like that. I don't even want to touch them. And in that, I've done a very subtle switch. So now their selection, the 9 of spades, is in front of them, and my selection, which I don't know, is the Jack of spades, is over here. So once again, let me switch that so I show you a genuine kind of performance. So they've set down a random card. I have no idea. For them, I've set down the 9 of spades. So I pick it up and I say, look, we've each set down a card. You know what? Actually, I don't even want to touch them. You keep that in front of you. I don't want to do anything funny. And I've done a switch, right? And now I say, are you confident? How confident are you that you got my card? And they'll say, kind of. And I'll be like, you know what? Actually, that just gave me, whatever they respond, you use that as a justification. So if they say, oh, I probably got it, then you say, oh, really? You're confident? Okay, that actually, I'm kind of hesitating now. Let me see. Maybe I'll change. No, you know what? I like this one. And I'm getting my peak now, right? I just peaked that they've set down the 2 of diamonds for me. So now I know that this is my card that I need to pretend like I thought of earlier. So I just, let's pretend I don't know what this card is. I'm going to, I say, how do you think you did? They say, I don't really think I got it. And you say, really? You're not that confident? You know what? That makes me feel like you might have went for this one instead. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that one. All right, so you just say, okay, I'll stick with it. And then you're going to pick it up, and you're going to say, okay, I went for the 2 of diamonds, and you're going to point to it, even though this is the 2 of diamonds. You say, I went for the 2 of diamonds. Let's see how you did. And now we'll just do a Mexican turnover and switch them back, right? And now you switched it for the 2 of diamonds. Everything seems congruent. It doesn't seem like you ever could have got a peek of that card because they feel like it was in front of them the whole time. And then you can hand this card to them and say, what was the card you had? They'll say 9 of spades. They'll flip it over and reveal the 9 of spades. So I think this is a super cool idea for a do as I do. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like this using the one ahead in this way. I think it's really clever. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, it's super nice, right? Because, again, without me knowing what card they've set down, I've set down the 8 of spades for them. I just do this. Look, we've each set down a card. You know what? I don't even want to touch them, okay? Let's just keep it in front of us. I don't want to do anything sneaky. How do you think you did? Do you think you got my card? Yeah, you do? You're confident? Oh, that's interesting, actually. Hold on. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. I just really don't want to get this wrong. I think it could have been this one instead. I was kind of thinking it was either this one or that one. You know what? Okay, no, I'm going to stick with this one. Anyway, I went with the King of Spades. What did you... Oh, messed it up. But I went for the King of Spades. What did you go for? Yeah, so there you go. King of Spades, they flip it over. Wow, you got it. That's amazing. And then what was the card you had for the very first time? Thought of card, never said out loud. 8 of spades, turn it over, reveal. Really, really killer stuff. I think that's awesome. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Cool. Okay, so let me know if you guys have anything else you'd want me to cover. I'm probably going to wrap it up soon. We've been going about 1 hour and 40. I hope you guys like that little do as I do idea. It is pretty cool. Something I've been working on. I'm not sure if there's room to improve it still. There's a few moments that I think could get a little bit better, but generally I quite like it. I think it's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think. David says, so good. Thank you, David. I think it is pretty great. I'm happy with it. So, again, tomorrow, guys, I have a 10K magic challenge that is launching on the channel. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., all the information for that is a magic competition that I'm doing to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. You have a chance to win one of 3 awesome prizes. All you have to do is submit. Do I want to tell you what you have to do? You're going to have to submit a routine. Get creative and submit a routine. And that's all I'll say for now. It's very good. Thank you. Thank you, man. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, that is that. So if you guys have any last things, I'll stay on for another couple of minutes and just see. But ultimately, that is it. I think we've talked about everything. New videos website. If you like these lives and you want to get notified, you can join my email list by heading to my website. If you go to one of the, you can either go to the home page, scroll down and just fill out the contact form and just leave a message, just put email list and it'll automatically add you. Or if you go to the shop page and you stay on it for a couple of seconds, there should be a pop-up that'll come up where you can join the email list. And if you join through here, you get some 5 free tricks, some cool tutorials. If you're interested in joining the email list, so you can get access to all kinds of cool stuff, new releases and things, and agreed, very sneaky. Thank you, man. Yeah, new releases and just I always send an email when I'm going to do a live and different things like that. So, alrighty, I don't see anything else coming in, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's been an awesome live. I'm super excited to come to you from the new studio. We got a much better setup now. It looks a lot nicer. I got my shelf. What decks do I have here? I have the first V3s. Hold on. Where's the camera? This is so confusing. First V3s, right there. Then I have the Chateau Advocates. Then the Purple Bangers. Then the OVO Playboy playing cards. Then the Remedies. And then the David Blaine White Lions. And then up here I have 3 Come on. 3 Monarch decks, green, red, and blue. And then I have some books here. I have Expert at the Card Table, John Kerry and Friends Volume 3, Expert Card Technique, and Peter Turner's PK book. And then up here is a bunch of other fancy decks. And then we have the Magic God overlooking us. This is just like a paper mache mask with like playing cards that I got in Italy randomly, and I put a light in it so it glows. And I can remote control, change the color of everything. There we go. Red. And there's a couple of other lights on there, so I can change them to green. So it's kind of fancy. I put in some lights. It looks really good at night. If you've seen the recent video where I actually kind of showcase, so this is during the day obviously, so there's a lot more light. Normally I have the lights off, the windows closed, it's pitch dark, and you get these really nice light effects. And then I have this massive floor light that you can see that I've added that lights up the whole wall. Right now obviously you can see a little bit back here, a little bit of the color, but if you've seen my recent video, it lights up the whole wall. It looks super nice. My diploma over there. But yeah, this is my spare bedroom, my office, my studio. So it's pretty great. And yeah, I appreciate everyone. Congratulations on everything. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a big life journey, life change, and yeah, I'm still getting used to it, and it's exciting. I moved from the downtown core to the suburbs, and I'm happy about that though. I like it. I need a little more green space. But if you wonder why I keep looking over here, it's because I have my monitor set up over here where I can see everything. And I got the laptop with the card table camera here, and then I got the proper camera up there. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to get a private lesson, you can check it out at my website, linked in the description. I can help you one-on-one, card magic, mentalism, anything at all. The absolute best way to get help from me. I have a free lesson deal going on right now, so make sure you go check that out. Or if you'd like to get the best mentalism content here on YouTube, go check out my channel memberships. The Wizard tier, you get access to my live lecture, Problems Mentalism Masterclass, and a whole bunch more. Make sure you stick around tomorrow, 11 a.m. Put on those channel notifications. Make sure you subscribe. 10K Magic Special. You're not going to want to miss it. With all that said, guys, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you tomorrow for the 10K Magic Challenge.